If you have not seen part 1 of this video, then go and do that now. We're making pizza today, and we're just going to start off where we left off. We're just going to see how our dough has done. So we can see here we've got our rising dough, and oh, it looks pretty good actually. We've got a sort of a crust on top, but that's a big difference. Yeah, should we go and go to the kitchen? Okay, so now we've got our dough. We should probably get it out of here. Sometimes it can be a little sticky, but I wouldn't worry about that. You might have to have a bit of flour on hands. Okay, so now we've got it out. That sweet smell of those herbs is filling the air. And the dough has definitely risen. And we would just want to probably work it a little more to get that crust off it and mix in those herbs. Okay, so let's just mix all this in. You don't necessarily want a thick crust. That often happens when it's too hot, but it doesn't matter if there is one. Okay, so now we've mixed that in, we will want to cut it roughly in 4 because that's how many pizzas I'm making. Okay, so now we've got 4 lumps that will become our pizzas. And actually we should probably preheat the oven now. Preheat it as high as it can go, I would say. Most ovens don't go very high up. Mine only goes to 240 degrees Celsius. So yeah, as high as it can go probably. So once you've preheated the oven, you probably want to set aside 3 of the lumps. And only have 1, and then probably put this back in its warm place. Okay, so we're now going to roll it out into a pizza-shaped lump, I guess. Put a little flour over to your work surface to stop it, sticking, and then sort of get it in the shape you want it to be, and then just roll. Basically, it's not very hard. You should be able to work it out. But you might want to just keep turning it around and so on. My pizzas generally don't look very good, but shape-wise, but that's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's really the taste. But some pizzas do turn out really well. So now you've got a rough pizza shape, you might want to sort of match it to the pan you're going to cook on. You know, the pan can be as big or as small as you want, as so long as it fits in the oven, but you might want to just check if it fits first, because that's always useful. I think mine does just about fit, but remember you have to maximise the space, because everyone wants the biggest pizza possible. You should probably now oil the pan, just with a bit of olive oil, not that much, in fact that was probably too much, and then just get a brush and spread it around. This is just ease the transition when your pizza comes off when it's cooked. Around now you probably want to start preparing the toppings, so firstly I always do the mozzarella. For 4 people, probably 2 packets, small packets, or 1 big packet. You can find it in most supermarkets if you look in the cheese section. Mozzarella, just be careful, comes in with liquid, which helps preserve it. Now, you want to remove that liquid carefully first, and then you want to sort of leave the mozzarella in this setup here I've got, which is basically just a sieve with a bowl, and you put your mozzarella on top. That's so it drains all the liquid out, so your pizza isn't too soggy. So I've done that, and it's now draining, and I would just say you always want to get this buffalo stuff. It's much better than like the grated stuff you would get in a packet. For one thing, it's a lot less expensive, and for another, it's a lot nicer, like a lot nicer. So whilst we've got our mozzarella being drained there, we're going to prepare our tomato sauce. Now, tomato sauces vary. You can probably buy one ready-made in the supermarkets, but I always like to make my own. Not fully, that would involve cutting up tomatoes and things, which doesn't take long, but this is kind of easier. So usually I just take this stuff, passata. You usually find it in around that sort of chopped tomato tin section, and then we just pour quite a bit of it in. Really, most of this is just trial and error and seeing what works the best. And then we take a bit of this to give it flavour, sun-dried tomato paste, very good. We'll probably take about maybe this much and put it in, stir it in. And then I also like to add a bit of tomato puree, which helps add even more flavour. Also, you need to remember that when tomato sauce is cooked in the oven, it has a lot less flavour. Like whenever you put any pepper or anything in, it'll decrease, basically. So you need to put a lot more than usual in, basically. Okay, next I would add some more of these spices. They're really useful. Okay, so that's our tomato sauce done. So I've prepared some red peppers and some chorizo, some additional toppings, and here we have our pizza. You can see that I've already spread the tomato sauce over it, fairly to the edges, and as well as that, torn up some mozzarella, just to put over the top, you know. So I think we're just going to put some peppers on this one. Just throw them evenly on top. There we go. And also we're just going to add even more of those herbs and spices just to give that extra punch. Okay, so this is ready to go in the oven at the highest possible degree. Cook until it's, well, it'll look ready. I mean, cook until it's not burnt, basically. So that pretty much concludes this video. I'll probably be doing more videos on pizza, as well as a certain oven that you can use to cook that pizza. So I'll see you in another video soon, probably, and goodbye.